Hi, I'm Alan Connell, Partner and Head of Tax at Eversheds Sutherland's Irish office.
And I'm Carol Tello, Tax Partner at Eversheds Sutherland's Washington office.
We're here to discuss aligning business strategy and tax planning for intellectual property in the ever-changing international tax environment.
Yes. As a result of the OECD BEPS project, there's an increased emphasis on aligning income with substantive activity described as the DEMPE functions, that is, development, management, enhancement, protection, and exploitation functions. Former double country structures may no longer be viable due to these BEPS DEMPE requirements. Examples of these double country structures are the double Irish and the double Dutch or CV/BV. The non-US IP of a US multinational needs to be onshored to a DEMPE compliant entity. If that offshore IP is moved to a US entity, which also has to be DEMPE compliant, there would be the advantage of a lower rate of 13.125% on the so-called foreign-derived intangible income or FDII income. Also, the general lower corporate rate of 21% would be available for other income. But there's a tax cost to move IP into the U.S. Once IP is moved into the U.S., there's no ability to move IP out of the U.S. without significant tax costs. Deductible payments, such as outbound royalties made to a foreign-related party, potentially are subject to the BEPS tax, a new tax which is akin to an alternative minimum tax. If you move the IP to a non-U.S. entity, again, you need a DEMPE-compliant entity. There's no deferral for the U.S. shareholder under Subpart F rules or the new GILTI tax. The reduced GILTI tax of 13.125% is attractive, but you only get 80% of your foreign tax credits, and there are no carryovers. There's also the potential BEPS tax on cost-sharing payments from a U.S. entity to a related foreign entity. The next slide shows some changes in the U.S. transfer pricing rules, which I'm not going to go over, but could impact a cost-sharing payment to a related foreign party.
Okay, well, from a European perspective, as a result of the BEPS project, Ireland has become an increasingly attractive location for IP, with many multinational companies onshoring their valuable non-US IP rights to Ireland. The slide depicts the typical structure that we tend to see US multinationals use when onshoring their non-US IP rights to Ireland, following changes to the Ireland's tax residency rules, which were aimed at closing down the double Irish tax structure that Carol just mentioned. Typically, non-US IP rights are relocated to Ireland, and the Irish company acts as sales principal and entrepreneur for Europe and other territories outside the US. Helpful drivers in respect of these structures are Ireland's low headline corporate tax rate of 12.5%, broad domestic exemptions from withholding tax, an extensive tax treaty network, and an exemption from stamp duty on the transfer of that valuable IP. Ireland offers substantial tax incentives to encourage and foster development and growth of IP rights, including incentives for both purchase and internal development of IP by Irish companies. Looking at these incentives in a little more detail, there's a generous R&D tax credit regime which provides for a tax credit of 25% of qualifying expenditure, which can be used to offset an Irish company's corporate tax liability with a potential of a recovery in respect of any excess. The R&D tax credit is in addition to the normal trading deduction that an Irish company would enjoy at 12.5%. So therefore, a total tax benefit of 37.5% on qualifying expenditure. Ireland's tax regime also provides for a tax deduction in respect of the capital expenditure incurred on a broad range of IP, including goodwill of that IP, which can be taken in line with accounting depreciation or over a 15-year period, whichever is the lesser time. Worth also noting that Ireland also has a knowledge development box, which was the first BEPS compliant IP box, which offers a low rate of 6.25%.
Thank you for viewing this video on aligning business strategy and tax planning for IP. For more information on tax planning for IP and other bottom line videos, please access eversheds-sutherland.com.